Hi, welcome to Chef Maxwell's Kitchen. We're down here in Norfolk, Virginia at the Culinary Institute of Virginia, where the next generation of great chefs is being trained. And we're going to be doing some real fun things with some Virginia food today. First of all, it's not Virginia food if it doesn't have to do with corn, right? So we got some grits. We've got stone ground grits, and I don't know whether we can get a really good shot on these, but this is stone ground. It's a really rough cut and a very large kernel, right? So when it cooks, you still got some texture to it. Right? I've got these cooking in some chicken stock over here, right? And they're pretty well finished. They're ready to go, except we're going to add a little bit of cheese. A little bit of butter. And stir that around to get that in there smooth and melted. And then we're going to add a little bit of cream. We need to add a little bit more fat to the dish. There we go. And that's all set. We're going to let this simmer now while we make our etouffee. So we're going to get some butter melted in here. And as soon as that melts down good, we're going to add what the Cajuns call the Trinity. Trinity is celery, onions, and green peppers. Right? Almost everything Cajun has celery, onions, and green peppers. So I'm going to add, hear that? Cajun music. Add those in there. Let them simmer a little bit. I'm going to add a little bit of garlic. Let that simmer. This is going to simmer for about 3 minutes until it's good and clear. We don't want to brown this. We just want it to clear up a little bit. I'm going to add a little bit of tomato paste. Right? And then I'm going to do this. It's called pincer. It's a French word. It means basically to fry the tomato paste. Right? I'm going to let some of the oil separate out of it and let the sugars start to caramelize. Tomatoes have got a lot of sugar in them, and when you caramelize them, it makes the dish a little bit sweeter without having to add sugar. And what we've got here are some bayside oysters as opposed to oceanside. These came out of the Chesapeake Bay as opposed to off the ocean, which means they're a little less salty than the oceanside oysters, a little bit sweeter finish, right? And they hold up a little bit better, right, in subtle sauces, right? But they don't have that durability that gets built into an oceanside oyster or that very high salt content that's in an oceanside oyster. And these would be perfect for our Cajun etouffee. And I'm going to add a little bit of red wine. You watch what this does. This is red wine, red tomatoes. Makes brown sauce. Isn't that neat? So 2 reds equal brown. So we got that simmering, and all those good flavors from the garlic and the onions and the celery are there. I'm going to add a little bit of parsley. I'm going to add a little bit of diced tomatoes. And there's nothing wrong with a canned tomato. Of course, in season, you know, when it comes to be May, June, July, August, you want to use fresh tomatoes. But in the middle of winter, you can't get fresh tomatoes. Use the ones you've put up or that somebody else has put up. So there we go with, that's our etouffee sauce. Etouffee means smothered, right, in French. Now we're going to add our oysters and just poach them a little bit. These are delicate oysters, so I didn't want to put them in at the beginning. And let that simmer. Now, while that's working, I'm going to go ahead and start setting up this dish. I'm going to add some parsley to the grits and stir that around. going to put some grits down in this bowl. You can use any plate you want. You see the grits are holding together, right? And they are just delicious. Made them with chicken stock. They are perfect. Right. I'm going to take some oysters. They're hot. Seasoned well. I'm just going to scatter some of these oysters around on top of the grits. This is kind of a variation on what you might find as a shrimp and grits, right? But we're making it with oysters instead. I think that's enough oysters to make the dish look good. Certainly not enough oysters for me. Right. And there we have it. Oysters etouffee on grits. Let me take a little bit of this and just kind of pop some color in there.
Remember, here at Chef Maxwell's, we always play with our food, but it's better if the food is safe, fresh, and locally grown.
For more delicious recipes using Virginia-grown fruits and vegetables, contact Lisa Lloyd at the Virginia Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services at 102 Governor Street, Richmond, Virginia, 23219.
Chef Maxwell's recipes are listed on the Save Our Food website at saveourfood.org.